A wondrous call was made at dawn by that fairy-like figure. Who fled from herself into the garden of unawareness. I turned to my heart and said, "What joyous news, that even the dust at my door gains the quality of life." All the sacred souls are waiting for you. Why don't you become a spirit and fly towards the beloved? It would be blasphemy to look this way and that. If you, like a gnat, are scattered by every wind, you cannot count yourself among the eagles. My heart was scheming to escape the pain of his sorrow. I said, "Oh, fool, if you escape the mind, you won't escape the sorrow." The thought of Shams of Tabriz glanced towards me. I was lost and said, "What a sweet gaze." Do not seek elevation through speech, for the wise one gains more by listening than speaking. Without the true essence, even if you keep your physical body warm for 100 years, the bread will still be stale. Do not cherish your worldly companion too much, for such attachment ultimately leads to separation and certainty of parting. Since you are an ear and not a tongue, the divine has commanded, listen. You reap the consequences of the seeds you've sown yourself. The Creator is both a seeker and a conqueror. He will dismantle the false from existence. From every direction, calamities are given to you so that you might return to your original pure state. You said you would remain silent, but you did not. Love laughs at your instability. Just as the living expels the dead, the breath of the living leads to death. What is the reverence of God? It is to keep oneself humble and grounded. What is the teaching of God's oneness? It is to burn oneself before the One. If you wish to trade your existence for a day, burn your worldly self just as you would burn your night. Do not punish us if we forget, said the witness. Yet forgetfulness in any form is also a sin. One who has not completed the reverence of God would not have forgotten the struggle. Similarly, every desire in the world, whether wealth, fame or bread, each of these intoxicates you, and when you do not attain it, the drunkenness afflicts you. Just as a drunkard in his intoxicated state commits crimes and later claims innocence, attributing his actions to the influence of alcohol, he is told, "But the cause, O vile one, was your own free will." This metaphor serves to illustrate the concept of personal responsibility and the role of free will in our actions. There is no more significant cause than the delusion of perfection in your soul, O misguided. In the river's flow, even though it appears clear to you, there is still mud. God has made chastity 100 pounds of iron. This metaphorical weight, like invisible chains, binds many, restricting their freedom and influencing their choices. It serves as a reflection on the societal norms and expectations that often dictate our actions. How can you understand the nature of non-being? Look at the first step you took. You placed it so well. The ear that hears the secrets of glory has fallen silent like a lily with 100 tongues. A call has reached the souls from Emperor Mansur. Look at the circle of men from afar. What are you doing? This circle represents the collective society and its actions. When the sun rises, why do the people still sleep? This metaphor of the sun rising symbolizes enlightenment and awakening, prompting us to reflect on our own state of awareness and consciousness. Iqbal Lahori's message from the East speaks of the conquest of nature and the birth of Adam. Love cried out, a bleeding heart has appeared. Beauty trembled, for a man of insight has been found. Nature was disturbed as self-destruction and self-contemplation arose from the earth, urging us to reflect on our actions and choices. If you make my body dust and cleanse the dust from me, then mold me anew, O beautiful moon-faced one. Remembering God is not a task for every vulgar person. It is not suitable for every petty man. You are the essence of souls. Break away from the mundane self. Be the one. Break away from the multitude. I am a mountain and my existence is its foundation. When I'm in a storm, it is his storm. I am angry at kings and princes. I have bound anger beneath my gaze. My anger is like a sword, yet the anger of God, when it comes, is like mercy to me. The decree of God has spread the carpet for us, so that you may speak from the path of openness. You have seen contraction. Remedy it with contraction, for heads all rise from the root. You have seen expansion. Provide water to the expansion, so that fruit may rise with companions. The cry of the mad is the cry of lovers, and the cry of the Sultan is the guard of the saints. The spear in my hand. Life like a spear was handed to me by the king. But how long must I play the jester, entertaining every petty person? Human beings devised tricks, and their trick was a trap. Those who thought themselves wise were but bloodthirsty. Remember, Pharaoh's effort was futile. Whatever he wove was a failure. Trust in the divine plan. Your efforts will not be in vain.
What hurts you blesses you. Rumi's words echo through the ages, reminding us that pain is often a catalyst for transformation. It speaks of a profound shift in consciousness, a spiritual awakening symbolized by the break of dawn. It is a call to move beyond the limitations of the mind, to shed the shackles of ego. The dawn represents a new beginning, a chance to awaken to our true nature. The dawn is a powerful metaphor for spiritual awakening. It signifies a shift from darkness to light, from ignorance to knowledge, from sleep to wakefulness. Just as the first rays of sunlight pierce through the darkness, so too does spiritual awakening illuminate the hidden corners of our being. In Rumi's poetry, the dawn represents a pivotal moment in our spiritual evolution. It is the moment when we begin to see ourselves and the world around us with new eyes. The veil of illusion is lifted, and we catch a glimpse of the divine reality that underlies all of existence. This shift in consciousness is not always easy. It can be a painful process, as we are forced to confront our deepest fears and insecurities. But it is through this process of death and rebirth that we are able to truly come alive. The dawn reminds us that even in the darkest of times, there is always hope. It is a symbol of renewal, of second chances, and of the infinite possibilities that await us when we awaken to our true nature. Rumi often uses vivid imagery to convey his teachings. In the dawn, he introduces us to two contrasting figures, the fairy and the demon. These figures represent the duality within us, the divine spark and the ego. The fairy embodies our innate goodness, our capacity for love and creativity. The demon represents our ego, driven by fear and desire. These forces constantly vie for our attention. The fairy calls us to remember our true nature and embrace our divinity. Section 4. Beyond the meadow of ignorance, transcending the mind. Rumi speaks of a meadow of ignorance, a metaphorical representation of the limitations of the mind. It is within this meadow that we often find ourselves lost, caught in a web of thoughts, beliefs, and assumptions that keep us from experiencing the fullness of reality. The mind, while a powerful tool, can also be a source of great suffering. It is constantly chattering, analyzing, and judging, creating a sense of separation between ourselves and the present moment. To transcend the meadow of ignorance, we must learn to go beyond the mind. This does not mean denying the mind or trying to silence it completely. Rather, it means developing a new relationship with our thoughts, one in which we are no longer ruled by them. Through practices like meditation, mindfulness, and self-inquiry, we can begin to observe our thoughts without judgment, recognizing them as simply thoughts, not absolute truths. As we detach from the incessant chatter of the mind, we create space for a deeper awareness to emerge. Section 5. Embracing the infinite, a journey of self-discovery. Rumi's poetry is an invitation to embark on a journey of self-discovery, to move beyond the limitations of the ego, and to embrace the infinite possibilities that lie within. It is a call to awaken to our true nature, to recognize the divinity that resides within us all. This journey is not always easy. It requires courage, compassion, and a willingness to confront our deepest fears and insecurities. But the rewards are immeasurable. As we shed the layers of conditioning and limiting beliefs, we begin to experience a sense of freedom and liberation that we never thought possible. We begin to see the world with new eyes, experiencing a profound sense of interconnectedness with all beings. We discover a wellspring of love and compassion within ourselves that we never knew existed. The journey of self-discovery is not about becoming someone else. It is about shedding the layers of conditioning that prevent us from being fully ourselves. It is about embracing our imperfections, our shadows, and our light, recognizing that it is in our wholeness that our true beauty lies. Section 6. The Path to Awakening, Rumi's Guiding Light. Rumi's poetry serves as a guiding light on our path to awakening. His words offer comfort, inspiration, and a profound understanding of the human condition. He reminds us that we are not alone in our struggles, that the path to enlightenment is often fraught with challenges, but that the rewards are well worth the effort. Rumi's teachings emphasize the importance of love, compassion, and surrender. He encourages us to approach life with an open heart, to meet challenges with grace, and to let go of our need to control. It is through cultivating these qualities that we create the conditions for spiritual growth and transformation. Rumi's message is timeless and universal, transcending cultural and religious boundaries. His words have the power to awaken something deep within us, to remind us of our own innate wisdom and our capacity for love. By embracing Rumi's teachings and applying them to our own lives, we can embark on a transformative journey of self-discovery, one that leads us towards greater awareness, compassion, and ultimately, to the realization of our true nature.